Music is a sometimes subtle and a sometimes loud way to speak your mind. And the music that came out of the 1970s is a perfect reflection of what was happening socially and politically in that decade, from soul to punk and everything in between. The 70s protest movement picked up where the 60s left off, especially in regard to the Vietnam War. Civil rights continued to be a hot-button topic, reflecting the ongoing racial tensions of the time. Meanwhile, in music, soul began to overtake folk as the main genre for promoting social awareness. In the UK, the emergence of punk rock provided a voice for disenfranchised youth. So right now, we're going to consider the 10 best protest songs of the 1970s. Number 10, Don't Worry, If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go, Brutus Mayfield. Brutus Mayfield established himself as a key figure of the 60s civil rights movement with the inspiring songs he recorded with the Impressions. But in his 1970 debut solo album, Curtis, he tackled social issues with a much harder edge. Don't Worry If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go is a warning about American race relations. In this song, Mayfield conveys the idea that if we as a society don't get our act together, then all hell will break loose. This may be the funkiest protest tune ever, but the heavy fuzz bass just doesn't sound funky. It provides an ominous, apocalyptic feel. Number 9, Bright Riot, The Clash. Off their 1977 self-titled debut, Bright Riot was The Clash's first single, and it helped establish the band as one of the most important bands in the history of socially conscious music. The tune addressed the 1976 riots at Notting Hill Carnival, that band members Joe Strummer and Paul Simonon were both involved in. The riot was in response to the fact London's Caribbean residents were victims to racist policing practices. It encourages those with more favorable circumstances to use their privilege to become an ally for the marginalized. The song is a strong rebuke against white passiveness. Number 8, God Save the Queen, The Sex Pistols. This legendary punk anthem was one of the more antagonistic protest songs of the protest movement. It was from the Sex Pistols' landmark 1977 album, Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's Sex Pistols. God Save the Queen is a bold indictment of the monarchy, declaring it a fascist regime. While many protest songs present a call to action and hold out a hope for change, God Save the Queen represents a more nihilistic perspective, with the repeated refrain of no future at the end of the song. Those nihilistic sentiments would be indicative of much of the punk rock that would follow. Number 7, Pill. Loretta Lynn. This then controversial ode to the birth control pill is a celebration of sexual liberation and woman empowerment. Lynn first recorded the tune in 1972 at a time when there was much religious and conservative opposition to the pill. Because of this, her record company blocked her from releasing it, so the song wasn't released until 1975. It also appeared on her Back to Country album, released that same year. Many country radio stations banned the song. Even though it didn't do as well on the Billboard country charts as her earlier singles, it did cross over, becoming her biggest hit on the US Billboard pop charts. The song is still relevant considering the ongoing battles with women's reproductive rights. Number 6, Ohio, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Ohio was a protest song written by Neil Young in response to the Kent State shootings that occurred during a May 4th, 1970 student protest over the U.S. invasion of Cambodia. The song was an immediate response, being released in June 1970. The lyrics, "Tin Soldiers and Nixon Coming," is a bold attack on then President Richard Nixon's administration, who Neil Young blamed for the death of the 4 dead in Ohio. The song became one of the most enduring of the protest movement, and with it, the American youth counterculture truly embraced Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young as generational spokesmen. Number 5, Get Up, Stand Up, Wailers. This classic reggae protest song is from the Wailers' 1973 album, Burnin'. So this was before they became known as Bob Marley and the Wailers. Get Up, Stand Up is a rousing anthem of human empowerment. It is also worth noting reggae's significant contribution to the international protest movement. Reggae can be considered a form of Jamaican folk music, and many of the best reggae songs provide stirring social commentaries. Bob Marley, the Rasta Prophet, was the foremost Jamaican protest singer. His wide appeal is due to the fact that the sentiments of a song like Get Up, Stand Up are universal. You don't have to necessarily understand or agree with Marley's political and religious ideologies for his tunes to inspire you to take a stand against oppression. Number 4, Bondage, Up Yours, X-Ray Specs. This is the 1977 debut single by English punk rock band X-Ray Specs. Lead singer and songwriter Holly Styrene is a female trailblazer in the punk music scene. This explosive tune is a feminist rallying cry against consumerism. Number 3, Revolution Will Not Be Televised, Jill Scott Heron. This proto-rap classic was originally recorded for jazz poet Scott Heron's 1970 live album, Small Talk at 125th and Lenox. But that version was a stripped-down version which featured only congas and bongo drums. The more well-known full band version appeared on his 1971 landmark album, Pieces of Men. Revolution would not be televised, protest political passiveness, and make some strong statements about the inability of pop culture and mainstream media to address the real concerns of the people. This protest song is truly a poignant musical document of the protest movement. Number 2, Working Class Hero, John Lennon. There's no shortage of John Lennon tunes that could have been selected for this list, and his place within the protest movement is undeniable. It was tough to narrow it down to one. Working Class Hero may not be his most well-known or direct protest, but while some of his songs might come across as simple sloganeering, Working Class Hero offers a subtle, insightful social commentary. Working Class Hero appears on his 1970 album, John Lennon / Classic Ono Band. The song is a stirring social commentary on class splits and how society tries to manipulate individuals to become cogs in the machine. Number 1, What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. This classic soul protest song comes from Marvin Gaye's 1971 legendary album of the same name. The entire album is a masterpiece of socially conscious tunes that could be included on this list. Gaye based the concept of the album on the story of a soldier returning home from the Vietnam War, and the world is shaken up and everything's changed around him. So this was partly inspired by the experiences of Marvin's brother, who was a Vietnam vet. Bernardo Benson, who was a member of the Four Tops, helped co-write the tune with Marvin Gaye, and Benson was inspired to write the song because he was deeply disturbed by the police brutality taking place during student protests of the Vietnam War. The song was initially going to be about that police brutality, but Gaye's contribution broadened the scope of the subject matter. While many protest songs are angry indictments, What's Going On is a mournful questioning. It's an earnest yearning for positive change. Sadly, like most of the best protest tunes, the song is more relevant than ever. So this concludes the 10 best protest songs of the 1970s. So what are your favorite protest songs of the 70s? Feel free to protest the list in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. For more content, check out the website Ongoing History of ProtestSongs.com and the companion podcast Ongoing History of Protest Music. Thanks for watching, and please stay safe.